Bartering and Trading by Joseph Banks. Long ago, buyers and sellers didn't use money. Instead, they traded for what they needed. If someone had chickens, she might trade eggs for milk from a neighbor who had cows. This kind of trading was called bartering. Some things are more valuable than others and can be traded for almost anything. For instance, people need salt to live, so salt has always had a very high value. People who had access to salt traded it to others who did not. Traders would travel long distances to meet one another. This travel, or the routes they took, became known as the salt roads. In time, instead of bartering, trading objects, people used a different system. They agreed that some object, like a stone, diamond, or a metal, like gold or silver, had value. Then they used these objects to buy things. This is how the idea of money started. Some Native Americans used beads made from ocean shells as money. These beads were called wampum. Wampum have been found hundreds of miles from the coast. These beads must have been used many times to travel that far. Today, though, all governments produce coins and paper money. People use this money to buy goods. However, many people can still barter when they can. Now that I've read this story, let's do a little something with it. I bumped into a lot of words in this story that maybe I didn't know. When I get to a word I don't know, I can do a number of things. I can read around the word. I could ask a friend to help me with the word. I could raise my hand and ask my teacher. But there is one that really, it's an important skill, especially if you're alone and you don't know what that word means and there's no one to ask, and it's really important that you understand the sentence it's in. So we're going to talk about how to use a dictionary today. A dictionary is a book made to look up new words and help understand what they mean. They used to be made out of paper. Most of the time now, your dictionary is built right into your tablet. Google is a great dictionary, and I'll teach you a little bit about using that dictionary now. So here was a word way back from the beginning of the year. It was the word terrarium. A terrarium is a new word. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't have anyone to ask, so I looked it up and this is what I found. The first thing I found are its syllables. Terrarium. They've marked the syllables to help me say the word. Then they use different letters to help me pronounce the word. Because maybe I don't know how to say this word, I can use the sounds better to hear it. Terrarium. 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 It's going to help you to pronounce or say the word. Then it'll tell you what the word is. This is a thing. This noun is something that you keep your lizards or turtles in, right? And then it'll tell you exactly what it is using a definition. It's a clear container for growing plants or small pets when they're indoors. A terrarium. I've looked it up in the dictionary. Now, today, I'm going to have you guys look up some words. But first, I'm going to show you which words I might look up, right? So if I'm reading along and I get to words like bartering, I know that's not a second grade word. Same with words like value. These words I've circled because I'm not really sure what they are. Now we're in luck because your teacher taught you the other day that bartering is a type of trade and that value means how much is something worth, right? But let's say I wasn't there and you had circled a couple words that you wanted to look up in the dictionary. What you would do is you would just type them into Google or look them up in a real dictionary, and you Oh, here are a couple more words that I could look up. Routes and wampum. Those are other difficult words from the passage. I could look up any of those words, right, in the dictionary. Let's see which one I looked up. I think I have one here. Oh, yeah, there we go. This is what it looks like when you look up a word in a real dictionary. First thing is all the words are in ABC order, right? So you're going to use the letters in the word to find your word. So if your letters are AM to AN, it might be on this page somewhere, and you just have to look up and down the page until you find the word you're looking for. Those are called guide words to help you narrow in where your word is. My guess is dictionaries are not going to be used as often. So let's talk about what happens if you just type in the word. Here I typed in the word apple. I typed in apple. The first thing it did is gave me its syllables. Apple. And then even better than spelling the word, they have a speaker here. And if you tap it, it'll say apple. The computer will teach you how to say the word. And then it'll tell you that it's a noun and what that noun is. It's a round fruit of a tree from the rose family. I didn't know that. Which typically has thin, green or red skin and crisp flesh. Many varieties have been developed as dessert or cooking fruit or for making cider, right? So apple is, I looked it up online. You are going to get a chance to look up a word too. This is your activity for today. First thing you're going to do is you're going to zoom into the word. That means you're going to tell me a lot of information all about the same word. This whole page is going to be about the word you choose. You're going to put that word up in the circle. You're going to tell me what it means by looking it up in the dictionary. You're going to tell me a word that means the same thing. The opposite. How many syllables? Draw me a picture of the word and even use the word in an example sentence. Okay? So let's just pretend I'm you and I'm looking up the word happy, right? What would that look like? Well, I'll show you on the next slide. Sorry, I don't have it for you. Oops.